Hey, Tony Lambraia here from UTM, Ultimate Training Munitions. In today's training tip, we're going to talk about training scars. So we're going to give you a couple of examples on training scars and what sometimes happens inadvertently as a trainer. Things that we may do, things that we may have that we actually start to train on cause training scars in other environments or in realistic situations, unfortunately. All right, so let's talk a little bit about qualifications. Everybody uses cover in their qualifications. Just trying to do the right thing by introducing cover is we pass the barricade. So we stick our gun around the barricades on the live fire range. Now, why do we stick our gun around the barricade on the live fire range? Most of the time is because you don't want to shoot the barricade, right? It's dangerous, it's wood, it's made out of plastic, whatever it is. But we all know that you should actually be off cover. You should minimize your exposure and you should make sure that you're not sticking your gun past cover. The second training tip or training scar that we want to talk about is a lot of times you'll talk about the laser rule in firearms, right? You can't laser your partners, you can't laser good guys. Well, many people do a serpentine drill. This is just an example of a serpentine drill. And I don't care how you drop your muzzle, whether you do a low ready, whether you do a port, whether you do a SUL. I want to just show you really quickly. So you start out and these are all friendlies, right? So I put 3 or 4 friendlies in a line, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to work through. Now, as I pass my friendly, I drop my muzzle, whatever technique you want to use, whatever it happens to be. And if you wanted to do low ready, just don't laser the legs. I don't care. The point is you're dropping your muzzle. So you're working around and past all of your friendlies to make sure that you don't laser them. Now, we were working the serpentine drill. We were working on our muzzle discipline. Again, whatever position you happen to train, not the point, but now we were dropping our muzzle, dropping our muzzle. Here's an inadvertent training scar that sometimes happens. So now I have the same serpentine set up, but I have it with barricades. And what you'll see is that as the officers are going through, they'll start dropping their muzzles from here and then come back up. Then they're going around and dropping the muzzle again and coming back up. If this is cover or concealment, there's no need for me to drop my muzzle. The only time I would drop my muzzle would be if this was a friendly, right? So realistically, as I'm serpentine through this thing, all I need to do is keep my gun up and move through the exact same way, and it almost becomes that cornering drill as you walk through, walking through and serpentine. Again, as you're doing this, you don't have to drop your weapon. This is a piece of cover. The only time we drop our weapon is when you have a friendly. Manipulating cover, on cover, off cover, including cover in your qualification courses. But you have to be conscious of where the training scars occur. Just pay attention when you're developing out your training programs. Make sure that you're paying attention, and if you need to, go to the next step. Just take one more drill to make sure that you're not creating those training scars. My name is Tony Lambraia, Ultimate Training Munitions, as real as it gets.